I am still on my Nora tea kick. I plan to keep making this just consistently. It's just something that I've added into my routine and it fits really nicely. I just usually do it when I'm in the kitchen doing something else, so I kind of habit stack it in that way. And I drink a whole one of these in a day usually. So it's a quart size and I just make another batch for the next day. And I did actually make a huge batch one time when we were going to go out of town and brought it along. So you can just double the recipe, but I should link the recipe, or actually I don't even think I saved it. I think I just have a screenshot of it, but I can share it with you down in the description below. It's super easy. So I am still doing that and really enjoying it. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of honey to it for taste. Sometimes I just drink it plain. I actually really don't mind tea. I wouldn't say that I love it. Like, I wouldn't say I'm drinking it and I'm like, oh, this tastes so delicious. It definitely is a bit of an acquired taste, but I definitely don't mind it. I think it's just nice to sip on, throughout the day. So I'm enjoying that very, very much. Now, this process of making my kitchen feel more like a cottage one is going to take me a very, very long time. We have this beautiful kitchen that was redone by the previous owners, and it's beautiful. I have nothing really like inherently wrong or, nothing huge to complain about. It's just that I want to live a more homesteady-ish, I guess, life. I just want my kitchen to resemble one that would maybe be on a homestead, or I don't know. Maybe it's just the aesthetic, but it's also in the practical too. It's not just the aesthetic. That's definitely part of it. I want it to look that way. I want it to feel that way. But it's also practical because I realized that I have all these jars of things that I usually had down in my pantry. We have 2 pantries on either side of our fridge, and they're great. They have slide-out drawers. I like them. But I had a lot of these jars in there because I initially thought, that's typically what people do, is put that stuff in the pantry. And obviously you can still do that, but a lot of it I was reaching for a lot, and I found myself getting annoyed with having to reach for it in there. And I thought, if these were up here, this would make so much more sense. So that's why I say it's a little bit practical. It's also the aesthetic. I definitely want it to look pretty and like a cottage kitchen, but I just thought putting these up here would make so much more sense. So I want the flour up there, salt, oats, my wheat berries, and that is about as far as I got for this particular video and where I'm currently at. I got everything up there. The doors are still on, and I'm kind of still trying to figure out some of the other dishes. I may end up just moving those into the pantry. I'm not totally sure because I'm basically just redoing the entire way that my kitchen is organized. And I am someone that, as much as I want to get things just done quickly and be done with it, I have to take my time because I have to live with things as I put them for a little while to see if it's working, and if it's not, then I have to change something. And then there's just other things that come up that maybe you need something for the next step and it's just not in the budget yet. There's just always something that is slowing it down. So in the meantime, though, I combined my Nora tea. I had one batch in a smaller jar and my larger jar was getting a little more empty, so I put the smaller jar in there, and then I ended up putting my tea bags in this jar, which you'll see in a little while. I ended up switching that out because after this part I started doing my spices, and then I realized that they don't really even all fit. They're always overflowing and I love the basket that I have them in, and I kind of wanted it displayed. So you can see how this just snowballs into, well, now this isn't working or this isn't working, and it just takes so much time. So I just have to be okay with it. It's very frustrating to me and it leaves a bit more mess than I would like, but it's just the nature of it. So after I get these in here, I will show you what I did with the shelving that I eventually want to be open, and then I will move on to refilling my spices, which was long overdue. I had not done that in a very, very long time. And then I will end up putting my tea in this basket right here. I got these jars a few years ago as a Christmas gift. I had asked for them and they're really pretty. I really like them, but I will say they're not the most practical. They are practical when they're full, but the process of filling them is really annoying. It's really tedious, so I'm not totally sure. I was kind of thinking if I could look and find a similar style but just larger jars, that might be more practical, because you won't have to fill them as often. But they're so pretty, so I hate that. But you really need it to be pretty and practical, because it has to work, it has to keep things running smoothly, and when it's not pretty or not practical, it bothers me for different reasons. So I like these. I will link them below if you're interested, but I will just say that they're definitely not the most practical. Okay, I'll show you what we have so far. Hopefully you can hear me. So this used to be baby stuff. There's still some stuff up there that I'm gonna need to, well, we're keeping all of that, but I might be doing something else with it, I'm not sure. And yeah, I think that brush will stay there actually. So we have all our plates, all our bowls. I use these for shredding cheese, and it's kind of annoying that they're on the bottom, so I might end up changing that, but kids stuff right there. We still have all our cups in there, and I'm working on these. So it is not pretty at all yet, but I got this up high enough so that these jars can fit. They actually could probably come down one more, we'll see. But my goal is to have the jars here, and then I'm not exactly sure what up there, because I do want to take these off eventually, the doors, so it needs to be pretty. But for now the doors are on, so I can kind of take my time and see how we'll do it. But ideally jars and like pretty stuff here. We have this toaster oven that I think we're actually going to sell. I bought it because I wanted to stop using the microwave so much, but now I'm just using my regular oven and it's just taking up space. So I'm trying to make more space on the counters. I also made a little more space over there. Have to get rid of some stuff. I put toaster and coffee maker, has to lay, which is fine. I have other stuff here. And then I put some here. So that's not exactly ideal, but it'll work. So here's what I mean about the mess. This is all of my excess spices that do not fit in the jars right now, and I actually literally don't have anything to put them in. Like, I could just throw them up here and that would be a mess and it would hide the mess, I guess, but yeah, it is what it is. So I'm gonna have to hit up the thrift stores soon, and I'll have to finish organizing the top of this as well. But I really like how the bottom two shelves are looking. I need that recipe box to go somewhere else because I need access to the stuff behind it easily, but I still think I want the recipe box in here somewhere. It looks really pretty, and of course that's easy access for recipes. So you'll have to stay tuned. I will definitely keep sharing this process. It's going to take a long time, And aesthetic wise, I'd love to add beadboard to the back of this too. I think that would add a really nice touch, but that's probably a long ways off. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next week.